Hi there guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to remove an entire fence post in one go, including the concrete, and in under 5 minutes. I will be using a special tool to remove the posts, but I'll also show you at the end of the video how you can use a tool that most people have lying around the house. So stick around till the end to find out what. Hey guys, I'm James and welcome to my channel Mountain Fencing Home and Garden. I've been a fencing contractor for many years now and I've removed a lot of fence posts, but in my personal opinion this is absolutely the easiest way to remove a fence post. But if you have any ingenious ideas or contraptions that you think are better than what I'm about to show you right now, then please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear how you guys do it at home and I'm always looking to improve. Okay, so I've got these 3 concrete fence posts in my garden. I was going to build a wood store here, but I've decided to make the garden a bit more child friendly. What we're going to be using to do it is this bad boy. It's a farming jack, 48 inch. It can take 3 tons of weight, and essentially what we're going to be doing is pulling the posts out of the ground. So the first thing you're going to need is obviously a jack, a few bolts, couple of lengths of 2x4 and a good sturdy platform to start the jack off on.
What I'm using for the platform is this old piece of oak sleeper that I had laying around in the garden. Obviously you can use whatever you have available to you. You could use some bricks for the feet, but I suggest using something strong for the base because that's going to take a lot of the weight. I'm cutting the feet at 30 centimeters in length and then the main base at 90 centimeters length.
Now the reason for the platform is you could try using the jack straight from the ground, but if you can imagine there's going to be a big ball of concrete around the bottom of the fence post. We're going to need to get the jack tight up against this post, so as you start to pull the post out, the concrete that's sitting around the bottom of the post is going to then be pushing up against the bottom of the jack, and it's just not really going to work.
So as I said earlier, you're going to need 2 lengths of 2x4. These are going to be attached to the jack to form a tripod to prevent the jack from leaning over as you're jacking the post out of the ground. If you're working straight from the ground instead of off a platform, you need to cut the 2x4s just slightly longer than the jack itself. But as I'm working around 40 centimeters off the ground, I need to add another 40 centimeters onto the length of these 2x4s.
You're also going to need a big chunky piece of timber. This is a 4-inch post. I've drilled 2 holes through it that are going to take the M12 bolts. The holes I've drilled are 13 mil. You want it nice and tight in this because this and the bolts are going to be taking all the force. Also with the 2x4s that you've cut, ignore this hole here, but you need to drill a 10 mil hole to take the bolt, and this is going to act as the tripod for the jack. Okay, first things first is you want to set up your platform. If you can imagine, there's going to be probably an 8-inch round chunk of concrete in the ground here. So you want to set your legs at least sort of 12 inches apart. Just put one on either side of the post. And then your platform on top, tight up against the post.
Well, I'm not blessed for space here, so I'm working from the back to the front. It would probably be easier for you to work from the front to the back, feeding the bolts through. But you need to obviously feed the bolts through the post. If you haven't got these handy little holes in the posts, you can obviously just drill the concrete post out, or if it's fitting to a wooden post, drill 13 mil bolt holes through the post. Fit some nice big washers on there, and you want to make sure that these nuts are tightened as tight as they can go.
So this is what you should have set up. You've got your platform, which is going to leave enough space underneath there to allow the concrete to be pulled up out of the ground. Got your jack tight up against the post, piece of wood bolted to the post, either the concrete or the wooden post. And then you got these two pieces of 2x4 timber just loosely bolted at the top here, just to support the jack as you're jacking the post out of the ground. Firstly, you need to engage the jack to allow you to lift it up, which is you just pull this piece of metal up, and now every time you pump the handle, it's gonna just bring that jack incrementally further up. Okay, so let's start to try and lift this bad boy out. These obviously can be adjusted however you need. Hopefully you can see that under there. Slowly pulling that post right out of the ground. Okay, so we've hit the bottom of this platform now. So once it's under pressure, you just need to bring the jack back up, disengage, drop it down, move the jack out the way. Jack back up, engage, and then keep jacking. Okay, you can see it's pulling the concrete post out of the ground, plus the plug of concrete that was in there. Once you get to about probably 6 inches or 8 inches probably to a foot, you can then literally just pull this out. Now this is going to be heavy to put out. Let's just say a few prayers for my back before I go. And there you go, after a little bit of effort, it's pulled that post completely out, including the concrete, leaving you with a nice hole that you can just put another post into. Now that tool that I told you about at the beginning of the video that everybody should probably have at home, and that is a car jack. Works in exactly the same principle as the farming jack. Of course, you're not going to have as much power on this or the range, but it should work. So let's give it a go. Okay, let's see. It's pulled it out of the ground, but I don't think it's pulled the concrete out. It worked. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful to you in some way. And if it has, please like the video as it really helps my channel to grow. Also, consider subscribing to see more content like this in the future. Thanks again. See you next time. See you next time, Marley, won't we? Yeah? See you next time.